last words of wisdom? Any last advice for people who are going to be listening to this, getting ready for their first fights, you know?
Be intentional with your training. I've been complacent quite a bit of the time too, where it's like I show up to class and I'm there to like burn calories, hit the bag, and I just kind of listen to what the coach says. So be intentional, strategic, and then the fights always go well when you do that.
I would say for your first fight, just know that the nerves kind of all go away once you're in there, and it's kind of like a dream. So it'll be over before you know it, and then you're back to normal.
That's actually super solid advice, and that's super true. You're nervous up until the bell rings. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Legends Boxing Podcast. I'm really excited to be here. We've got a couple of guests in studio, and just wanted to introduce them real quick. We've got Parker Scarbrough, and we've got Jacob Garrett, and these guys are our main events for our October 6th legendary fight night. So we do this every year. Actually, we've only done it for the past couple of years now. This is the second edition of the fight night that goes in tandem with our awards banquet, but we do an awards banquet every year. We've been doing that. It's a few years now. It's been 5 or 6 years that we've been doing the awards banquet, which is a really, pretty awesome thing. I don't know if either of you guys have had the opportunity to be there. I know you were there last year because you fought last year, right, Jake?
Yep.
Okay, so when you fought before too, right?
Yeah, I fought back in 2020.
Okay, all right,
yeah.
Okay.
So it's been a minute.
So it's even, Steven, 1-1, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
all right.
sir.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about fight night, but we're also going to talk mostly about your guys' journey leading up to this way. And I know you've been in the game for a while, Parker.
Yeah, it's been
AKA Killer, and we'll talk about that too. Jake, when did you start with Legends?
July of 2021.
Okay, so
So
a couple years.
years, a little over.
Nice. Okay. Where do you train at?
Jordan Landing
Okay, all right. Okay, so that,
with Robbie.
yeah, Robbie's fighting too, isn't he?
Yeah, it's been a interesting camp.
I imagine
Just
so. So I imagine so. What weight class are you guys fighting in?
Y71.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You've gotten big, Parker.
I know. Stacking on the weight finally.
He was like,
I was like a buck 15 when I started. Yeah.
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 Okay, how old are you now?
21.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a
Been
minute.
in the game for a minute. So Jordan Landing, how's training been going? Any different this time than last year?
Yeah. I think for your first fight, they really, really hone in on just how important your jab is, how important that 1-2 is. This camp has been a little bit more, I feel more well-rounded.
Oh, good. That's good.
Which has been fun. It's been fun learning things that I haven't been as comfortable with in the past.
Was Robbie your coach last year too?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So familiar with your coach
Yep.
and everything like that. Just now more of an in-depth game plan.
Yeah, and we've developed kind of an offbeat relationship that's our chemistry's entertaining for the both of us. So we have a pretty good friendship that works out well.
Good. Well, I mean that no matter what, it still goes inside with our core values, right? Like no matter what, like it's crazy to befriend your coach, right?
Yeah.
And so like most boxing gyms, you it's that respect level that you wouldn't, but now you hold that same respect level and you become a friend with your coach, which is kind of that unique belong feeling of Legends, which is kind of cool. So, well, let's see here. So how many days a week are you training?
6.
6. Wow. Okay. Are you doing road work?
Yep.
Okay. Sparring, how many days a week?
It's been 3, typically, sometimes 2.
Okay. All right. What's the worst, getting hit in the face or getting hit in the gut?
The gut, for sure. Liver shots suck.
Oh, man. I know a thing or two about those.
Yeah, weren't you just talking like 5 minutes ago about your ribs being a little
Oh, yeah. Kylan hit me with a good one last night. Dinner bout came up.
Why is it every time we're talking about ribs and body shot, Kylan's name brings
That guy's
to
just the
conversation?
body snatcher when it comes to punches.
Yes,
It's scary. Once you get hit, you feel it too.
Yeah, no, like he's just so compact.
Oh, yeah.
He'll get right inside, especially with longer arms and taller guys. But yeah, every time we talk about body shots, Kylan's name is brought up. It's all the way back to our like first episode on the podcast. Kylan's name was dropped about body shots. So yeah, it's been crazy. What's your favorite punch, Jake?
I really like the 5.
Oh,
I don't know why. It's satisfying.
I like that. That's not a normal answer. That's really not your normal. Most people 3s and 6s or 8s, but yeah, that's refreshing. I like that your 5 is that. So Parker, see what I'm doing here for you, bud?
You're helping me out. I'm watching around 5 now.
Yeah, but I dropped the fact that your ribs were sore, so I hope you picked up.
I got a week and a half to heal up. We'll be good.
So, do you have like his picture hanging on your mirror in your bathroom or something like that? You know?
No, nothing crazy like that.
No motivational like hump up. I'm gonna wreck you kind of stuff. Nothing. Parker's like, I do.
He's like, your picture's right on my refrigerator.
In my head every time I'm punching the bag.
No, that's the other kind of really cool thing I think that this fight night does, right? Like this was something that I remember Rob and I talked about a long time ago when we were even just starting to talk about franchising, and we started to actually get more legends. We were like, dude, that would be so cool to be able to have like South Jordan versus Lehi, or Lehi versus Wilmington, North Carolina, right? And like, it's now the second time we've been able to do this. So last year, that was pretty cool. It's really cool for you to be a part of that. So this one, I think, is just going to be even that much better. It's going to be in a larger venue. So for those who are listening, you here in Utah, tickets are available. You can go on to legendsboxing.com/fight, and you can get your tickets now. This week is the last week that it's like the early bird discount, right? So there's no more discounts after this week. So if you're listening, get your tickets and get on there now. You're not going to want to miss this year's fights. The thing that I've seen from sparring that's been going on, from the matchups, from the people that I just know, we could not have made these matchups more even. Like the way it is across the board, there's no underdog. There's no one that's going to be, really, oh, that guy's definitely going to be the winner versus the other person. No, they are really evenly matched up fights. They're going to be really entertaining. So you got a lot of people coming to watch it?
Yeah, quite the entourage, I would say.
Good. What's your walkout song?
It's Stand Out from the Goofy movie.
Oh, what? Oh, wow. That is great, dude. That's awesome. I haven't seen that movie since I was a very little kid.
Yeah, figured I'd lean into the nostalgia that would bring up. So
that's awesome, dude. I love that. I'm looking forward to that. What's yours, Parker?
Some song from a movie, some Purge movie. It's a little scary song, but yeah.
It's getting serious.
Try something new, yeah.
Okay.
We got Goofy and then we got the Purge.
Okay.
It'll be fun, 2 different sides.
No, I know every time that I've ever walked out, it's only been twice, actually. Out of all the fights I've had, I've only had 2 times that I've walked out, and it's been legend shows, to believe it or not. I went back afterwards and was like, dude, I should have picked something different. Like every single time. I was like,
I think that's how it is.
I wish I would have picked this one. Like my last fight for EFN, when I fought EFN, I picked We Are the World, which is an old 1980s song that most people never really even heard of unless you're in the 80s. And I was trying to like make a statement because at the time the whole world was in like shambles and everyone was pissed off at each other. So I was trying to tell everybody, we need to, we are the world. Let's get back to loving each other again. And it didn't make any statement. Everyone was like, what is this?
What's this guy listening to?
It's kind of funny. So let's talk a little bit about your journey. It's been a little longer than a couple of years. You started a long time ago.
Yeah,
we were just
7 years ago. I was 14.
Teenager, yeah. So let's talk about Killer. So this is the story I've been waiting to get to here. So his name's Parker, and one of the things that we pride ourselves on at Legends is knowing everybody's name, like 100% knowing everybody's name. And a certain somebody that we won't mention.
Won't say his name.
We won't say his name. He's not exactly the best at remembering people's names. And so if you get a nickname from this individual, that's the indication that he doesn't know your name. And that's how Killer came about.
Yeah.
Because that was when you you were sparring, you were getting better, and you were starting to turn into a killer inside the ring. And so this individual that will be nameless was, hey, killer, come here. I remember it like, yes,
Oh, yeah.
Hey, come here.
I miss the nickname.
Yeah, see, now you don't get it called quite enough.
It's like they call me Parker now. I'm like, come on.
Oh, dude, you got to walk in and it's killer. So
Yeah.
when you see me, it's going to be killer.
I appreciate it.
To this day. So that's, I hope you're putting that as you walk out. It's, Parker, a killer.
Yeah.
Right? Like the announcer has got to say it.
Oh,
that way.
I need to text somebody to get that to happen.
Well, it's now on
Everybody knows.
the podcast. Everyone's going to hear it. That's how you're going to walk out.
Yeah.
Any predictions? Either one of you guys? Come on.
I mean, it's only 3 1-minute rounds. I think it'll go all 3, but I think it'll be pretty one-sided.
Huh?
Yeah.
Your sided?
Got you. I have a marathon I'm running 8 hours later, so I got to get out of there quick.
I heard this.
Yeah.
I just recently heard this. But all this training that's been going on, and then you kind of go run a marathon like in southern Utah or
Yeah,
something?
I'm driving down to St. George. I'll probably still be in my fight gear, just like got to get down there, get 3 hours of sleep.
I think he might have got in over his head.
Something like that, a little crazy.
Well, now you can take advantage of all of that overtraining he's been doing.
I'm double training right now.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good, though.
Well, I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, to be young again.
Oh, hey, you're only 21 once.
That is
I'm
true.
enjoying it.
That is true. That's awesome. So do you think it's going to go all 3, or are you looking for trying to get first knockout?
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to rely on power and pressure.
Okay.
So the faster I can get him on the ropes, get him out of there, the happier I'll be.
Okay. Talk to me about your first fight, though. It was only a year ago, so it's probably still really, really fresh.
Yeah, I think I just leaned really heavily on the basics, and I think that is why I did well.
You won, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Now, tell me about, like, for those, especially the fighters that they've got a week and a half left and they're going to be listening to this. For both of you, talk to me, we'll start with Jake and then go to Parker, and talk to me about like the emotions that you're going through mentally. Like, are you going through any kind of like different phases mentally? Are you struggling with certain things? Are you nervous? Or, talk to me about that, and talk to me about that feeling you had in your first fight, and if it's any different now.
Yeah, I think in the first fight, there's a sense of unknown. You're not really sure what to expect. So that's a little unsettling. I think going into the second one, I know what to expect. I think I'm a little more confident just because of that. But there's also a different kind of nervousness. I think there's a little more pressure this time around. There's a pretty dramatic step up in competition. So Robbie's told me I got a difficult night ahead of me, and I definitely haven't underestimated Parker, but I am going to give him a run for his money.
Love that. Parker?
So kind of my feelings leading up to the fight, or?
Well, how long ago was your first fight? It was 2020, you said, right?
Yeah, so
about 3 years ago.
About 3 years, and then I had a 2-year break in between, so getting back into it.
What do you remember what it felt like leading up to that? Like, I know you had been training for a long time, waiting for a fight. I know you had suffered some injuries that prevented
concussions, setbacks,
being able to get the fights earlier on.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that first fight had to have been pretty exciting for you.
Oh, it was. I'd probably throw it up in like top 3 moments of my life, because I think it was like 4 years I was training for a fight, and then right when I think I'd get one, something bad would happen. It's like, okay, you probably won't be in the ring. I remember a doctor telling me there's no way you'd even get back to sparring. So like that moment, being able to walk out to my first fight, like, everybody has their injury stories where the doctors are like, it's not going to happen for you. And then they make it happen. So I think I just told myself, I came to the gym every day, like, there's no way I'm never going to get a fight. So walking out for that first fight, I was like, this is my moment. And it was best 3 minutes of my life too, I'd say.
How was the outcome?
It was good.
Okay.
Able to leave with a nice shiny belt hanging up in my bedroom.
So we got 2 undefeated fighters going in. Somebody's leaving with your loss here. Yeah.
There'll be a 1-and-1.
Great. So again, get your tickets now, guys. You're not going to want to miss these. These are going to be some really, really good fights. how are you feeling? I mean, you've said you're feeling good and you're overtraining, I would say.
Oh, yeah, most
coach.
definitely.
Yeah. But are you feeling good, like going into this? Like, you ready? Like, let's freaking go? Or any nerves setting in? Or is it more like excited energy?
I'd say a little bit of both. There's nerves. I think the nerves are good, though. That means you care about what you're doing.
Absolutely.
If you're not nervous, that means you don't really care.
Absolutely.
And then a lot of excitement getting back in. And I feel like I'm a little more mature at this age, too, so I'll be able to calm my nerves better. That first fight, I think I was doing mitts with you outside of the fight, and I was like, I can't feel my hands. Like, do I even know how to box anymore? But now I'm like, okay, I know what it's like. I'll be able to get in there, do my thing.
Yeah, it's funny how, like, no matter how hard you train, no matter how many hours you put into it, no matter how many times your coaches or somebody who has experienced this before tells you, it's going to be like you're super nervous. You're not going to be able to think, and you're not going to be able to process, and all this other kind of stuff. And everybody handles nerves differently. But I mean, yeah, I've been in front of so many different boxers that are getting into the ring for the very first time, and like people who have trained for 5-6 years, and then all of a sudden, what's a one?
Oh yeah,
I can't remember what a one is.
I have to keep my hands up.
Blank. Yeah. What's this? And so yeah, it's definitely. It was years ago that I had my first boxing match, but I remember it like it was yesterday. I don't remember my 10th fight, but I remember my first fight, and I always think I will remember my first fight. And so this is going to be really super exciting. I am not going to say who my money's on. I'm actually not going to put any money on either one of you two, because we finally got some shit talking on our pre-fight interviews.
We got to sell it,
During EFN, I couldn't get anybody, even like Dalton. He was just like, "Yeah, no, it's just going to be cool, bro."
I always
do a lot of fun.
Email, and it's like, don't talk bad about your opponent. Like, leading up, it's like something at the bottom about be a good person, don't like be a dick to them. And I was like, okay, that just means don't be rude to them at all. Be their best friend. So like when you said we could just talk a little shit on the show, I was like, hey, I mean, Andrew gave us the go.
I mean, no, like, absolutely. I'm totally, yes. Talk shit on this podcast. When you're out of there, absolutely go back to, yep, you guys are respecting each other and all this stuff and blah, 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 blah. Totally. I'm all for that. But it does help to have a little bit of meanness in you about the person you're going to get into the ring and box.
I think it makes the competition better.
Well, I mean, it also helps you go in there and box, because that's what boxing is about.
That is.
It's not ping pong here. We're going in to actually inflict pain on somebody else.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's just all for the fun, the excitement.
And your best friends after the fight somehow. It's crazy.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's how it happened when we were in 8th grade, too. You got into a fight with some kid on the playground, and then 3 weeks later, you guys are best friends.
Yeah.
At least that's how it was when I was in the 8th grade. Yeah. I'm sure it's somewhat like
boys
that.
will be boys.
Boys, yeah. Boys will be boys. Let's go. So any last final shout outs? You guys excited? You pumped? Like any last words of wisdom? Any last advice for people who are going to be listening to this, getting ready for their first fights,
Be intentional with your training. I've been complacent quite a bit of the time too, where it's like I show up to class and I'm there to like burn calories, hit the bag, and I just kind of listen to what the coach says, but I'm not thinking about how is this helping me in the ring. So be intentional, strategic, and then the fights always go well when you do that.
Okay. That's good advice. That's very good advice.
I would say for your first fight, just know that the nerves kind of all go away once you're in there, and it's kind of like a dream. So it'll be over before you know it, and then you're back to normal.
That's actually super solid advice, and that's super true. You're nervous up until the bell rings, and then it's just like,
it's game on.
Game on, let's go. And so very good advice. So for all of the fighters, good luck. Good luck to you guys. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it very much. Again, Legends Fight Night, guys. legendsboxing.com/fight. Get your tickets now. It's going to be at the Karl Malone Center located in Lehi, Utah. It's actually just right across the street from this current gym location, the Lehi gym. So there's going to be even more people than there were there last year. So having, I think, 800 people there last year, there's going to be even more this year. There's more seating, more availability. So really super excited. I'm super excited for the awards banquet that's in tandem with it. I don't know if you guys know about that, but this year it's Legends attire, like just casual Legends attire, which I think is pretty cool. Going to see everybody in their Legends gear, just even spectators, everybody. It's going to be awesome. So be there, guys. It's going to be a great Friday night. October 6th, doors open at 5:30. Come and watch Parker and Jake just absolutely go to war at each other. See you next time.